We're using lapels this time.
Check, check, check.
Check, check, check. 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2. This is my normal speaking voice.
Check,
This is
check.
my normal speaking voice. Not the accent though.
Your normal speaking voice sucks. Oops.
Sige, you wanna wear headphones? It's fine. You can hear me anyway. What's our hello intro? Do we say welcome or do we say hello? And this is Bring It
What's
In.
up, everybody? Welcome to Bringing It In with Ina and Brian.
Actually, it's
With Brian and Ina.
I love you.
Okay, go.
Okay, so we finally named our podcast. Oh, wait, so today is
Wait, that's
June-
it? That's the intro?
Okay.
I didn't even say our name right.
Hi, this is
Bring It In with Brian and Ina. Very awkward.
Finally have a title. Today is June 13 as we're filming this, and we're
Happy
hoping-
birthday, Ninang!
Happy birthday to our Ninang. We're hoping to release this tomorrow. It will be our second episode. So the reason why we didn't release a second episode last weekend was because we wanted the focus to be on the important voices and injustices that were going on last week and that are still going on until now. But for those who are interested to support in any way they can, we'll leave links down below. But we want you guys to know that we are against all of these injustices as well.
We'll finally leave the links down below because the last
we forgot
time
last time. Sorry.
Ina forgot.
Anyway, so we're leaving links down below of how you can help, what's going on in the States, what's going on here in Hong Kong.
In Hong
Maybe
Kong.
I'll find. I'm not sure if there are sources. There's news about it, but I don't know
Yeah.
if there are ways to help. So just remember that there are different ways that you can be involved. So you don't have to be at the protest to help if being in a protest is uncomfortable for you right now, especially with the virus ongoing. But there are different ways you can help. So there are donating to various organizations who are helping out. You can sign petitions, but of course, be very, very careful about the petitions that you sign. Always check if they are
Read
if they're
before you
trusted.
sign.
Read before you sign.
Always.
Because it's also very dangerous to give personal information right now. It's scary. It's freaking scary. So, yeah, we've come to a point where we were supposed to get a VPN, and then we stopped. And I think we're still gonna get the VPN. So anyway,
No, we didn't stop. We just,
we were supposed to do it like how many days ago, and then we didn't do it.
yeah.
So anyway, there's
Extra gastos eh.
so whatever it is that's going on, I feel like it's still okay to speak out about all the injustices that are happening. Our voices can still be heard, and lately, ever so slowly, our voices are being heard, so that's a good thing. If you're all worried about using your own personal emails, there are websites like guerrillamail.com that can give you like a fake email address or mask your email address, something like that. Okay, so yeah, last week we just dedicated it to learning what we can about everything going on and sharing information that we find as well, so that hopefully friends or people who follow us, whether on Facebook or on Instagram, learn a thing or two if they're already not aware. I'm happy though that most of my friends and most of the people I follow are on the right side of everything, right side of history. So yeah, so now I think so we had a hard time trying to figure out what we would talk about this week, this weekend.
It's been a
because-
while since we did this.
Yeah, because our first episode was April 28th, and our second episode we're shooting on June 13th. So a lot has happened.
And we released it, 2 weeks ago?
Yes, 2 weeks ago. So a lot has changed. So like for example, now the biggest thing is that Metro Manila is no longer under enhanced community quarantine. We went to enhanced to modified enhanced, and then now we're in general community quarantine, and no idea. Well, supposedly general community quarantine would be June 1 to 15, so we have no idea.
I think we went to MGCQ pa yata.
I have no idea. I think MGCQ were other cities. But yeah, so June 16 onwards, nobody still has any idea if we're going to be still in GCQ or maybe back to normal, whatever that means.
I heard that, well, one of the things that Patrick sent was, we're going back to GCQ. But I heard in the news naman, ECQ. But I heard in the news naman kanina na restaurants will be opening like 30 to 50% yata ng dine-in nila. So it's very conflicting. And I also saw na that memorandum that babalik na we're going to ECQ was like, I think it was 35 from what I read, pero nasa 40 something na yata tayo ngayon. So parang, you know how people bring up it like this and then it may seem like current pero hindi pala.
But yeah, a lot has happened. So we're back in the office, although not necessarily every day. On Fridays, we still work from home.
We try to leave by 4 p.m.
We try,
We're
although most of the
9
time,
a.m.
no.
to 4 p.m. ang time namin ngayon.
But we tried it. We're not successful in the trying part. There's always a lot to do. Well, that's on the office front. I think, well, I don't want to talk about what's going on in the studio because that's just like normal work
Barely
stuff.
anything is going on in the studio.
No, there's a lot going on, but it's just, it's...
I work. I have backlogs that I'm catching up on. New stuff also. Surprisingly, a lot of inquiries coming up right now because...
Well, a few weeks ago. Now, not so much anymore.
Now it's just mostly random messages from people. Thank you.
Yeah, because of our Facebook ad.
Yeah.
So we're getting random messages on our Facebook page who are... Some of them are kids just pressing buttons.
Some of them are lolas.
Hey.
Who are that are very scared na why am I getting this ad?
Right, because they're not used to ads. They don't know what they're seeing. So that makes sense. But one thing I think that's going on with me is that I'm trying to garden. Prior to the lockdown, our friend Patrick gifted me 2 cacti long time ago, and then a rubber tree plant. I think this was for Christmas or for my birthday last year. So I repotted my rubber tree plant, and it's now, this morning I saw that a new leaf is sprouting, so I'm so happy. Just put a picture.
We'll flash a picture or something.
And then so we went to Cartimar right before nag-GCQ. Like, I think a day or two right before. Surprisingly, the plant section of Cartimar was open. And I was able to buy soil to replant my rubber tree plant.
Pots.
And I bought 2 more succulents.
Spatula.
So now, and my trowel. And I also bought, well, I wasn't supposed to do anything to my snake plant. And then I realized that my snake plant, when I got it from Brian's tita, was already slightly drooping. And then when it got to us, it started drooping even more. So it turns out I've been overwatering it because snake plants are only supposed to be watered once or twice a month lang. So it's supposed to stand erect. So I repotted it because I thought there was root rot because of all the watering. Thankfully, there wasn't pala. But anyway, so I decided to just repot it na lang and then get rid of the dead plants before they actually cause root rot. So I'm learning all of these things. And then my dad bought me last week a calamansi plant that already has 2 tiny calamansis on it. So that's exciting. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I was researching about it, and I'm supposed to keep it as moist as possible. So it being outside on the balcony and it being rainy season, I think it will be as moist as it can be. But yeah, I'm doing that. So gardening and trying to figure out how the balcony will look nice. What have you been doing?
The usual, riding my bike once in a while. Not so often now kasi nag-uulan. And also, I'm getting commission work for something I didn't expect. Drawing cats.
Pets. Well, pets, but they're mostly cats now.
Yeah, the commissioned works are, well, the one I'm being paid for are cats. But I'm doing our Ninang's dog also, who recently passed away.
Pepito.
So I wanted to gift her a portrait of Pepito. And then afterwards, I'm thinking of Rupert also kasi kawawa naman. Our own dog, walang portrait. And also
Rupert, come
Yumi.
Rupert, come here. Let's show this pretty boy. This handsome boy. Here,
Hurry
wait, come
up. Ang bagal mo.
So slow, so lazy.
Andito siya sa likod.
Ay, why are you there?
You can put him here. I think you can put him here.
Yes. Okay, wait, I think he's dirty. He's dirty.
Ay, hindi pa siya naliligo.
Needs a bath. Anyway.
Anyway, so yeah, that's what I've been doing. Also, yun nga, catching up on workload na naipon. Not naman naipon, pero well,
Took
yeah.
longer than expected.
I wanna paint again. Actual painting, not digital na. Pero wala akong canvas.
We actually visited Glorieta
Oh yeah.
a few weeks ago. And that was extremely surreal. So only the supposed essentials were open. Like the hardware, the groceries, the like restaurants. But for some reason, Lamy was open. And that's the reason why we went. Because we were with our ninang. And she wanted to go check out pens at Lamy. And so apparently,
We
so
also
many
needed
people.
to go to Ace Hardware.
Yes, we also needed to go to the hardware store. And you also wanted to check out National Bookstore for your canvas, right?
I did, kaya lang haba ng pila.
But anyway, so surprisingly, Lamy was open. And it was because apparently a lot of people have been inquiring, like messaging, asking if they could order, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think mostly like to give us gifts. So that's interesting. So they opened so that they could attend to those inquiries and fulfill orders. And I think parang as long as there are 30 people who keep entering the store, not even to buy anything, but just to enter, then
They
their
will still
bosses, will keep them open. So you can see like the staff's thankful that they have work, but
so
of course
if you're in
everyone's
Glorieta, you might want to visit Lamy also.
might want to visit
Just
Lamy.
In
Help
and
keep
out
them
lang.
open.
I mean, you don't have to look at things, just in and out lang.
Yeah. So, but now that it's that was when it was MECQ. Now that it's GCQ, I think there's definitely more that's open now.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely more.
Shinjuku's open, but pasunta mo.
Brian's favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
I hear that Nespresso is open already. I know you want your coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a little bit of what's been going on lately. But actually, what we really want to discuss for this episode is how everyone's doing. Because there's just too much going on. Everything that's going on, it's so overwhelming. And we were both trying to figure out a way like how we can contribute or help. Well, we've already donated and we've already signed petitions. We've already sent out emails to the politicians during the time that we could. I don't know if we still can, but anyway. So I think it's when people check in on you, you learn to check in on yourself and learn to check in on others. And I think that's something that we need to do right now. So I saw these like two amazing things on Instagram. One was like how to, I don't want to read the whole thing because I want to give my own take on it, but like how to rest and recover while you fight for social change. And then the other is how do I feel today? When was the last time you asked yourself these questions? So I think that one, the how do I feel today, I want to ask us those questions. But like how to rest and recover while you fight for social change, I don't know. I don't want to read all of this, but I think for me and something that would help you also is to just take a few minutes to breathe, to take deep breaths. And I think that's something that Brian knows as well, because that's something that when I was going through these like bouts of anger a few years ago, and sometimes now also, I've learned to like just step back, take a few deep breaths, and calm myself. And I think sometimes it scares you because sometimes I calm myself a bit way too fast, and then you're like, where did that come from? Suddenly kalmado ka na. So yeah, if you're feeling paranoid, if you're feeling if you're feeling paranoid, if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling overwhelmed by everything that's going on, if your heart won't stop racing, if you feel hopeless, and if you feel stuck, take 3 minutes to just do deep inhales, deep exhales. So inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and just take some time for yourself. Do that, and it's gonna feel so much different.
It's gonna. Well, I learned this from that abundance. What is it?
The 21 days of abundance.
Yeah, because he always says it. Na rather than thinking of stuff, also you'll focus more on your breathing in and out. Na parang, are you doing this right? And in turn, it will kinda empty your brain din eh. It readies yourself for meditation. So I guess that's the thing with monitoring your breathing kasi hindi ka nag-iisip ng kung ano-ano. You're just focused on that.
Yeah. You're learning to focus. So when you focus on your breathing, you're learning to focus. And it's just taking you back to what do you say that? It's just taking you back to the essentials, which is breathing. Because breathing is life. You can't be alive if you're not breathing, right? At the same time, sometimes human beings tend to take everything out of proportion. We tend to escalate things. So sometimes you just have to take a step back and think, do your deep breathing, and then realize that, wait a minute, is this something I can address right now? Was this a big deal? Is this, and then you see from there. I'm not saying that nothing can be a big deal. There are a lot of things that can be big deals, obviously. But
And
take
it
it,
varies from person to person. What's
yes,
big
because
deal?
everyone's different. But just remember that everything, what do you call this? Everything can be dealt with, but just one step at a time and one bit at a time. Remember that don't overwhelm yourself with too many things. If you need to take a step back and then just zone out muna or stay away from your phone first, that's totally fine. And I think everyone needs that. You need to recharge because social media can also be extremely intense and overpowering. So yeah, so anyway, moving on, I found this and it's how do I feel today? And as somebody who preaches about how we should check in, I'm kind of guilty of that also. I have a tendency to forget to check in on family and friends. But I make it a point that if I get a call or text message and they do check in on me, I make sure to really check in on them. Like ask them how they are, and then try to remember what happened a few days ago to them or a few weeks ago to them. Ask them how they are now regarding that situation. So yeah, we can link this Instagram post as well. But I like these questions, and it might be fun to answer as well, and then see where we are. Because when you answer these, it might actually you might learn more about yourself. And if you ask somebody else these questions, you might learn more about that person as well.
I've never seen this question, so
I haven't read all of them, although they're
ready.
just a few. Okay, so
Am I answering?
yeah,
Are
we're both gonna
we
answer.
answering?
We're both gonna answer.
Okay.
So, what is the first thing you think about when you wake up?
Why am I awake?
Why?
No, because it's normally before my alarm. So, what the f***? I'm awake na naman ng this early. If I'm setting my alarm at 6 a.m., I'm awake normally 6:58. Yeah, kadalasan it's like 2 minutes before my alarm goes. I have no idea why.
Okay.
So, that's the first thought. But other than that is, what's the first thing I'm supposed to do?
Yeah, mine's that. Mine is to-do list. I always immediately wake up and then think about where's my list? I have to look at it already and then start. Or what time can I start?
I don't have a list, but normally it's, should I go to the banyo muna or should I drink my coffee para mas swabe yung banyo ko?
Okay.
Or may nakalimutan ba akong gawing kagabi na I need to do now? Or, for example, yung mga times na wala tayong pasok, na I go out and do motorcycle rides. Diba? I pass by the office.
Yeah.
I always think of, do we need something here sa bahay na nasa office? Para at least, alam mo yun.
Okay. What are the 3 things that occupy your mind throughout the day? Mine is the tasks that I have to do. I know it sounds generic, but yes. Second is chores. Are there chores that I have to do today? Can I put them off tomorrow? And then third is everything else going on.
What's the question?
What are the 3 things that occupy your mind throughout the day?
Food. Kasi I'm cooking, so what am I gonna cook for lunch? What am I gonna cook for dinner? Time in terms of my tasks or chores, whatever. Na what can I do in this amount of time before I cook? That's if we're here sa bahay. I actually know. I cook or baon din kasi, so for me naman kasi it's more of utilizing the time properly na while I'm cooking, what else can I do right now? Should I shower na? And the last one is, when can I ride again? Kasi yun nga, lately since we have office na, it's not that usual na I go to rides kasi yun nga, daming ginagawa sa office. I normally, like this past few weeks, there are a few days na nauuna akong pumasok kay Ina kasi I wanna jump on things na. So, I go to the office like 6:30, 7 a.m. Yeah.
It's too early for me. Next, what scares you?
Kinagat ako ng damo.
Okay, what scares you? Okay, it used to be the virus, but now it's more of that all the injustices that are going on don't get the right justice. I'm so worried about what the state of the world is gonna be. But yeah, you know, you can only hope, pray, and educate, educate yourself, and then hopefully have these awkward conversations with family members who have different ways of thinking. But it's just scary. It's just scary. What scares you?
That things won't go back to normal na.
Yeah.
And it will be very, very different. Like, I'm 37 years old now, so I've lived my life like a certain way na I guess like just like everybody else na ngayon all of a sudden we can't go to the beach, we can't dine in sa restaurant ng like family. I think dalawahan na lang yata per table eh. So yung mga stuff like that na I'm scared lang na the vaccine might not be readily available anytime soon. So parang ayun.
Yeah, like you're missing the things that you used to take for granted. And it's so scary knowing that we might not get back to that.
Na parang sana we had more lunches out. Sana kahit crappy movie we could have seen na I always tell this kay Ina kasi na we both love watching movies. Pero if it's not worth paying for it, I'm not gonna spend on that. Na sana alam mo yun, I usually just wait kung lalabas sa Netflix. Dati I used to download, now I don't. I'm a good person now.
We pay.
So, ayun. Sayang lang. Ang daming movies na hindi ko nakita sa sinihan.
And I'm so pissed off that the movie that I was really, really waiting for, Artemis Fowl, decided to release on Disney Plus instead, and there's no Disney Plus in the Philippines.
Another reason to why to get VPN. To get Disney Plus.
Okay, next. What makes you hungry?
Hungry?
Anything.
What makes you hungry? That's a
what
question.
makes you hungry? Yeah.
Waking up. Pag-isip ko, gutom na ako. I don't know why.
Nothing specific.
We don't eat breakfast, by the way.
No, but I love breakfast.
Yeah, but we don't eat breakfast anymore.
Is it like, does it make me a pig if I say like anything? No, hindi naman anything. No.
I'm not gonna judge you. You're with the same person. So
no, not anything makes me hungry. But well, obviously, if you're looking at really good food, or if you're watching, there was a time where we were watching like cooking shows, Dire-Diretso. We were watching Chef Show and then Street Food Asia. So that, that always makes me hungry.
Recently, I was randomly searching on Google, chicharon. Pictures of chicharon.
Hey, yeah.
And I got chicharon!
It's the power of attraction. It's the power of attraction. There are a lot of important conversations happening everywhere. What's something new that you've learned recently from these conversations?
What's something new? That our government can really stoop down really to below your expectations. Like this crazy stuff. We're in a pandemic right now, but their priorities are bonkers. I don't know why they're prioritizing stuff like that.
Their focus is somewhere
And
else.
it's not just one person. I'm guessing ang dami nila dun sa wherever they are, and they all seem to think, well, not naman all, but most of them seem to think that there are some pressing matters that needs to be addressed rather than helping our frontliners, worrying about the food crisis, the job security. Alam mo yun? I'm so baffled na parang, why? Why worry about other stuff than this? Dahil mas importante mabuhay kaysa stupid anti-terrorism bill.
I don't know if it's learned, but no, I guess it's something I learned as well. Realized, or I'm not surprised by. Like I thought I was hoping it wasn't ganon, but then I guess it is. But it's when we had a conversation with certain family members about what's going on. It's just realizing that the older generation can be really quite tough to
Ben?
not bend, but let's just say like snap out of their old school thinking and then make them aware that
It's
you
not
know
like that
medyo
now.
yeah no basta like yeah, it's not like that now, and then you know it's very, what you're saying is very derogatory, or it's actually discrimination. Like they're not aware. So I think that's the hardest thing, to convince them, not to convince them, but make them
It
aware
has,
that.
come on, it has changed drastically. I mean, from...
What are you saying, like too fast for them to cope or keep up?
Yeah, I guess. Parang,
No, but it's nice because
they live how many years na in the world na parang it's okay, they don't see anything bad about it.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's, well, not naman all of a sudden, but it was a big issue, but not just explained well to their generation, I guess.
No, not even explained well. Because even years ago, there's discrimination was okay. It wasn't seen as discrimination, right?
Yeah.
But what I found interesting was I'm not gonna name who the family members were, but there was one family member who said something like, "Oh, there's buti walang discrimination na ganyan here in the Philippines." And I was like, "What?" And then thankfully, the older family member surprisingly was the one who said like, "No,
Anong wala?
Anong wala? Anong wala? Meron." Diba? Like,
Na it's not just happening abroad, it's happening here with the indigenous people here. Na,
Not
alam mo,
even-
not
not-
even
not
the,
even just
ano,
indigenous
yeah.
people, but even
The
like,
color of your skin.
the color of your skin. So people are teased for, like, I grew up with some friends who were teased for the color of their skin. No, sorry, not even like color, but just like how dark brown or how fair skin.
I don't understand nga. Ako, I'm never takot mangitim kasi even as a kid, my mom would take me to the beach.
Yeah.
Every vacation, we go to the beach and pagbalik mo sa school, maitim ka na. So, nagbabad ako, nag-enjoy ako sa araw Ganun talaga. That's my consequence. I don't wear sunblock.
And then also there's that, well, I guess I have some family members like this, and I guess some friends. Oh no, actually, not so much friends anymore. Some family members and maybe some people out there still. Definitely some people out there still. Because I also saw it on Rappler. That police station in Quezon Province who said na, what do you call this? Girls, so something to do with like girls shouldn't wear short shorts because they're asking to be raped if they do. And I'm like, why are you going to tell us what to wear and what not to wear? Shouldn't you be teaching the boys instead, or the men
Not to,
instead, like not to do, not to see women that way? But for the record, there are girls who wear baggy-looking clothes or really big T-shirts and pants, and they still get hit on. So it's nothing to do
It's
with what
not
you
ano.
wear. It's how the boys are raised. It's how the men are raised.
I'm out.
What?
I'll vape lang. I can't vape on camera anymore kasi we're wearing lapel mics now.
Might be heard. We don't have a third person holding, wearing headphones. Can you check?
I'm the third person.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay.
And
Kasi,
yeah, you can hear my vape.
right? See, I told you.
No, that's why I stopped.
Buti we're not doing audio only yet, but eventually we will. Anyway. Wow.
By the way, we're now fixing our audio for those people who did comment that our
I
first
found it
video...
too soft also, but we couldn't
No,
do
kasi
anything
we were
about
watching
it.
we were watching sa TV rin. I didn't realize that some people will watch it on their phones.
Either TV or phone, and if you watch it
Yeah.
on the TV, it's fine because you can really the
The
volume, right?
And my
but,
computer was fine also.
but if you're watching on your phone, yeah.
Because
So
I
we're
was
sorry
wearing
about that.
headphones.
We couldn't do anything anymore about that.
So now
Now we're wearing lapel.
we don't have
Yeah.
a proper mic pa. So we're wearing lapel mics na lang muna for our podcast. It does the job. What the hell? And I'm still
All right.
wearing my headphones.
We already talked about so much, totally forgetting that we're answering a string of questions. Okay, how does this make you feel? Like the conversations that have been happening recently. I think, despite me saying kanina that it can be a bit frustrating, I actually like that these conversations are happening because finally, I'd like to think that even though there are people who would disagree with the situation or who are on the wrong side of things, I'd like to think that eventually if they just hear enough, maybe they will. Hopefully, I can only hope, right? But I'm just happy that it seems that there are more people on the right side of things. So I'm happy that it's finally started. That all these conversations at home and with your friends are finally happening. These are hard conversations, but conversations that need to happen. So yeah. You, how do you feel that these conversations are happening?
Overwhelmed.
Yeah.
It's not that it's draining and parang ako it's how can all of this be happening right now? Hindi pwedeng isa-isa lang. Pwede bang next month na lang yung isa?
People are forgetting that there's still a virus out there, a silent... No, but for
2020
the record,
to,
I really, really love that the World Health Organization came out with or something saying that they're not even stopping people from protesting and they don't want to stop the protest. So even they themselves are saying like,
just be safe about it.
Be safe while you're protesting. Go.
And which is, I saw that drone shot yung sa Manyanita. Yesterday.
Yesterday.
People are distanced. Some are not wearing face masks, but not everybody. And those, I saw there are people who are giving away face masks.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't see that. That's nice.
So parang it's a nice way na we could organize something like this na, alam mo, we could protest and also be safe out there. So, yeah. Pero it's still overwhelming.
Next. In times of significant change, we are sometimes left with answers to questions we haven't yet thought to ask. Do you have any questions?
Why is it happening now? Sabay-sabay. Yun lang.
I was actually talking about this with somebody. It's interesting that these things are happening now because there's no school. Some people don't have work, so finally there is a time for everyone to really gather. Do you have any questions about? In times of significant change, we are sometimes left with answers to questions we haven't yet thought to ask. Do you have any questions? I definitely do. I'm sure I do, but I can't think of any right now. Right now, at least. Because I'm put on the spot. I didn't know that was a question here.
Ako yun lang. Why is it all happening right now?
It's overwhelming.
Sabay-sabay.
I believe that everything happens for a reason. Like, look, that there's no school, there's no work for a lot of people. So it's actually a good time for multitudes to gather. Although, yeah, you still wonder, like, why now? Why did the universe or why did God choose to like now? But yeah, I guess 2020 seemed like the perfectly rounded number to finally deal with all of this. And I'm actually very happy that finally all of this is being dealt with. I just hope that something actually gets done. Change pushes us all towards somewhere new. Where are you going? Oh wow.
Back to 2019. I know, not even.
I don't know. I know for a fact that there are some changes that are happening.
I know where you're going.
With us, but we're gonna find out by the next few weeks.
Yeah.
So I don't want to answer that right now. What are you doing?
Now, podcast.
Well, it's I guess if it's today, then today we're filming this. I'm doing some stuff, playing Dungeons and Dragons later with my cousins.
I was supposed to go out on a motorcycle.
But that doesn't look like you can now. But if you're talking about like what are we doing like now with everything that's going on, I'm still sharing information. I wanted to join the protest yesterday, but I had an important meeting with my ninang, so I couldn't. And then I don't know. It's just really more information dissemination, watching out for the news, see what's happening, and then.
What's the question? What are we doing?
What are you doing? So like, making all my companies like continue functioning and or evolving, because we have to evolve because it's different now. The new normal we have to adapt to. Yeah, and also figuring out our family future. So yeah, we have to, right? Like you can't help but think about your future and your day to day all the time now with everything going on. So yeah.
What am I doing? Praying more than usual. That's one thing I never expected to do. Figuring out how we can survive this as a company, as a couple, as a family member, stuff like that. Kasi Ina may have lists of things to do. Ako naman is look at the bigger picture, or I need to be 2 steps ahead of what's happening, which is right now it's very hard to do.
Oh, but I always tell you, like, you can't, that's hard. You have to just focus on
The now.
the now. Like, fine, you always have to be prepared, but
Yeah,
don't
but
stress out about it. Try not to stress out.
Yeah,
about
that's
it.
one thing I learned. I try not to stress about it, but I still
But it's hard.
assess.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I do the same thing. I preach that you should take it easy, blah blah blah. But I go.
It's
through
hard
that,
not
but
to
then-
worry.
Yeah.
I'm a worrier noon, even before this pandemic started. Na I worry about the future of my company, the future of this marriage, the future of bringing new life. If ever we're starting a family,
Take the time for a breath, or 4 or 5. Going back to breathing. See how breathing is important?
It
Breathe,
is
people,
actually.
breathe!
it is. Ang hirap.
Deep breaths.
Don't do it with your face masks on.
Oh, yeah. But don't also do it like
Without your face
in a
mask
place
outside.
without, yeah. Ask yourself, how do I feel? How do you feel?
How do you feel? No, ako muna. Ready na ako eh.
Okay, you go first.
I feel overwhelmed, of course. Once in a while, I do break down. Not in public, just here at home. I do break down.
It's not like we can be in public anyway, so
Yeah, but also, I mean, not in the office. I break down. I don't even. Well, I try not to break down when Ina's here. It's normal. It normally happens when I'm
can.
alone. And yun yeah, watching stuff, being overwhelmed with how can this thing happen right now? Bakit? Why is this happening at this moment na may iba pa tayong pinoproblema? I mean, it's really overwhelming for one person. Could you imagine? We are actually doing okay. I mean, we're okay. We're in a safe space. For me, it's very hard to not to think about the other people who I watch. Nakikita ko sa news na trying to, yun na lang, as simple as the people trying to book a flight out of Metro Manila, going back to their provinces.
oh my god, all the
Ang dami,
just
ano.
all the OFWs.
Yeah.
I feel for them.
And 1 or 2 people died already. Na that other lady who died sa overpass.
It's so bad.
It's very hard not to see yourself there also. Kasi after all, we are human, so you kind of empathize with what you see.
Yeah. Likewise with Brian, same thing. Overwhelmed and for the same reasons as well. But I guess I'm also scared. I'm scared for the future. I'm scared that, okay, finally we're all fighting for what's right. But like, what if nothing happens? Like, what if we still get stuck with the same, So
And how long will this last?
how long will it last? So I don't know, but that's the reason why you shouldn't let fear also get you stuck, right? That's why you have to do something about it. So if that's what you're scared about, then you do something that will help make sure that won't happen. But at the same time, even if it does happen, just know that you're not alone. Talk to people. Anyway, so yun, that's how I feel. What energy does this bring?
Energy or the lack of energy?
Well, there is energy.
It is very draining though.
When this was at the height, when this was all happening last week, I was sick. I ate half a bottle of kimchi. So I did not have
Alone.
energy. I did not have energy because I ate too much bacteria. I don't know. Probiotics, whatever kimchi had. I ate half a bottle because it was my dinner because Brian wasn't here. And I don't
I was out with my siblings kasi birthday ng brother ko. He requested na I be there.
For the record, the kimchi tasted really good kasi, so that's why. But anyway.
That's
so,
Nikki's kimchi, my best friend's sister's
Yeah.
kimchi.
So anyway, so I had no energy because I was just in pain the whole day for 2 days. So I was letting out whatever little energy I had left in just sharing information because I felt like that was the best I could do at the time. And then when I got better, I made a donation, I signed petitions, you put your energy to where, well, actually, sorry, no, that's two questions pala. What energy does this bring and where is that energy best spent? So I feel like all my, how I'm feeling, like the fear and the overwhelm, the energy that it's bringing is manicness. Like my energy, I'm so hyper because I feel like I need to be doing something about things. I need to be doing things and I need to be researching. I need to be just doing something, but doing something. And then, yeah, and it's spent on actually doing something about it. Because I can't be the kind of person who just finds out information or hears something happens and then not do anything. So, you?
I don't know. I mean, what energy does this bring? To be honest, it's the lack of energy. It brings me really down. It's draining. Just listening to the news. So I guess it brings negative energy. I don't know.
It's okay. It's a question. It's a thinker.
And what's the next part?
What is that energy best spent? Where
Well,
is that energy best spent?
whatever energy I have left is spent on trying to figure out things for the future. For what am I supposed to do if this scenario happens and the next scenario happens? I mean, just
Yeah, we have to prepare.
I mean, yun na lang. As early as now, dapat yun niya. You have plan A, plan B, plan C.
Yeah.
Not just for, I was actually talking about the company, but as a person also, you should have other means of getting by, I guess.
The last part, like, not ready yet. That's okay. You're doing great. We're doing great. Let's keep moving. Oh, that's nice. So I guess we didn't have to answer it. But for this, we answered. And if you're not ready to answer these questions, of course you don't. But it's something. I felt like I got to know more about why I'm feeling. Because I never, like, sat down and really asked myself these questions. So I think that's something that could help
It might help
you
you.
out. It might help you. Sorry about the lighting as well.
Yeah, you have something to
We did
complain
this
about
kinda
this
late.
time.
Yeah, we
our
did this-
audio's okay, I think.
Yeah, we did this kind of late because we took a nap because we were too sleep. We were so drained from yesterday,
Yeah.
so we were very sleepy today. Even though we had a good amount of hours of sleep, naman. Well,
I
you
didn't.
didn't. I had a good amount of hours, but I was still so out of it. And then I felt like if I didn't take a nap, my head would
Yeah,
start
and
aching.
it's not that late actually. It's just mukhang
I think
uulan na
it's gonna
naman.
rain. I can also feel it. Parang it's
yeah.
cold. Let us know what you want us to talk about
Yeah.
next in the comments
Our
below.
next episode, next week, we'll try to bring in something new. I'm researching on questions actually. Na that thing I found online na not naman to get to know each other, something like that. Or you might want to throw in questions on Ina's Instagram also. She'll ask.
Or just comment. Just comment.
Oh yeah, better. Pero
Yeah, because I might forget to
hit
do
that
on
like
Instagram.
button muna and then
Smash
subscribe.
that subscribe.
And then afterwards, you'll see the bell icon. Click that
to
also
get
so you'll get
notified.
notified if and when we release another one of these.
No. We're really gonna do this every weekend.
Yeah.
Last weekend lang talaga, we decided not to for those reasons that we said earlier in the video. So yeah, if any of these things continue to progress in the world that's happening right now, we will be sure to talk about them because we feel it's important to talk about them. But since we have like how many minutes on YouTube or how many minutes on our platform to talk about other things, we'll also make sure to talk about other
To
things.
bring it up.
To talk about other things as well. But yeah.
And we are promising to link the this time. Whatever
I just need to be reminded. Can you remind
I'll
me?
remind her.
Yes, please.
So ayun
I
nga.
will link again places that you can donate in
The last video,
episode.
yeah.
Yes.
Tapos this one naman more information I guess.
It's the
and
information. So
places where you can donate
it's the
also.
Black Lives Matter card and the Para sa Pinas card. So I'm gonna link those down below.
I guess we'll see you next week. Stay tuned.
Shout out to our former
May shout out
intern.
tayo?
Yes, shout out to our former intern, Dorothy. She figured out our name. So she messaged me and she said, Ate Ina, that's so cool. Bring it in with Brian Ina and then bring it in because
It's
it's
Bri
Bri
and
in Ina. So yeah, shout out to Dorothy. Miss you. I miss your batch. I miss all our interns.
Oy.
Anyway.
By the way, if we're congratulating interns or whatever, I wanna say lang that one of our interns, binigyan ng shakies. Nainggit ako.
Yes, one of our former interns from iAcademy, one of our most recent batches during the quarantine.
Yeah, because
She made a really amazing, her name's Bea Chan. She really made an amazing rebranding of like repackaging design of shakies because that was one of our challenges.
we do these challenges sa office even before pa, and we challenge the kids to redesign whatever packaging is existing, or redesign the logo, or even ads. We do it with
Yeah,
them,
but we give them directives and
So-
and it wasn't like by random. We specifically chose that for this batch we would do pizzas. Anyway, she got shakies.
I
and
don't know how shakies found out.
No. So she, according to her, she has no idea who sent it, but mukhang maybe somebody linked to Shakey's Philippines what she made, and then Shakey messaged her asking for her address, and then sent her free pizzas. Good job.
Sana
So,
kami din, di ba? Kami nagpaano nun eh. Shakies.
It's okay.
Come on.
Anyway.
I'll accept sponsorship.
But anyway, I hope any of our former interns who are watching,
Yeah, put your work out
just
there.
put your work
Yeah.
out there. Continue putting your work out there.
Maybe
Especially
next
now
time
that
it's not
everyone's
just pizza.
online.
Maybe next time it's not just pizza. It's actually
Our other interns who did like donuts and the other stuff that we gave them. Put
No,
that,
I mean
post
hindi
that.
lang pizza yung ibibigay sa inyo. Might be
alright.
better.
A project.
A project, a
Yeah.
job, whatever.
Do it, guys.
Yeah, just post it.
That's it. So, see you next time.
Bye. See you next time.
Bye.
And stay safe. All right?
Stay safe. Continue to social distance.